Your mirror, your muse. Welcome to G State of Mind.
This year started off crazy. I don't know what I'm supposed to be thinking or doing or any of those things right now, but I'm trying to focus on the bigger picture and not the smaller details right now because the small details right now aren't as important, it feels like, as the bigger picture of like me having a vision for this year that may or may not play out the way I'm envisioning, but it was frustrating because when you're financially stressed and your mind is constantly on money and how you're going to survive and pay your bills, you really can't think about anything else. I made a vision board because I started this year with so much confidence and enthusiasm and these big dreams and big goals. And part of my goal this year was to think bigger, dream bigger, and go after more. And I just feel like I'm flat on my ass, literally and figuratively, but flat on my ass trying to figure out what to do and how to do it and what to focus on.
This video was super raw and super emotional for me because I think it was a time where I felt like, all right, what are we doing? Let's actually just sit and kind of have a conversation with ourselves. And I don't know if you've ever done like a video diary kind of thing. I remember in college, I used to have a rough time after some of my classes or just kind of feel like a little depressed just thinking about like I don't really know what I want to do in my life. I don't really know what my life is going to look like. And often I would just sit and record myself talking to myself just to kind of feel like I'm having a conversation with somebody. And so anyway, this is kind of what that felt like for me at the time.
Like, it feels isolating. Again, I don't have the answers. I don't know. Letting the world know about my damn life and issues right now. Who knows who else is also going through a similar issue and watching me work through mine and workshop it with y'all, because that's what I call this, workshop in my life, workshopping 101 and trying to figure out what to do.
I had gotten to a place where it kind of felt like I just need to check in with myself and have a conversation. And I also just kind of had this inkling of what I wanted to do. It just still didn't really quite feel as productive, or it really didn't quite feel as something that I could actually pursue. It felt like it wasn't practical to do. And I remember feeling that way and feeling like, okay, I feel a little bit lost. I feel stuck. I feel like I'm on my ass right now and I don't know where I should turn to next. Should I focus on my creative endeavors with things like this, a video, or things like talking about my journey? Or should I be putting all of my attention, all of my energy on trying to join a team, on trying to get a job and making sure that this is something that will feel a little bit more stable, more permanent? And at some point, I had to realize that, like, nothing is guaranteed. And so even in that video, I am being so honest about how I felt in that moment where it's like I really don't know what to do, what I should focus on. But I've been here before. Back in 2016, 2017, shoot, even after I finished my master's program in 2020, I felt that. It felt like I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing this? Or should I be trying to focus my energy and time on something else, on something different? It just never quite felt like I knew exactly what I was doing or I knew exactly how to do it. It just kind of always felt like I was constantly wavering or constantly finding excuses for the things that I really wanted to do, I really wanted to pursue.
I'm working on a few different things at the same time. One of which is trying to secure an opportunity, a job, a role with an experiential marketing agency or company. And then number two, being able to speak to my perspectives of things that brands could do to effectively connect with their ideal audiences. or even rebrand themselves to connect with their ideal audiences. And so I already did 2 projects where that was my focus, and I'm working on my third.
Part of the reason that I'm doing a separate video where I am addressing that very thing is because I don't quite feel the same way I did in this video. Like, yes, I still want to take you on a journey. Yes, I still want to show you some of the hardships I'm having and some of the things that I'm dealing with. But also, it really also came from a place of I have made a decision, I guess you could say, in the most simplest of ways. I've made a decision. I've kind of decided what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. And I'm still not fully confident in it. I'm still not fully sure that this is the thing. But I do feel like this will be a lot more authentic to my journey than me just pursuing something because it feels practical, because it feels like it's the right thing to do. And that has kind of been a bit of what that video was about. There were different layers to the video where I felt like, well, these are the things that I'm supposed to be doing, but here I am stuck at a retail job, feeling like I don't quite know what I should be doing, what I should be focusing on. And at the same time, feeling deeply in my heart that even if I was to get a full time salary job, I will still feel something missing. I will still constantly pursue this creative pursuit. And I felt like at some point, like there's a nudge happening, there's a little push happening constantly to pursue the things that I'm passionate about, irregardless of the type of success I think might come with it, or the type of failures that might come with it, or what other people might say or think, or if I'm good enough, or if I'm really that good, or any of those things. And so I felt that. And in the video, I explore a little bit more about some of the things that I wanted to do. And I want to touch on that because one of the things that I mentioned was my brand projects. And while I love my brand projects, I did a rebrand for a baby fat, which was my first brand project. I then did a rebrand for a Blockbuster. I was working on one for IKEA. And I also wanted to do one for Uncle Nearest towards Juneteenth. But what I realize is that while I'm passionate about those things, that began as more of a way for me to show my worth, improve my talent and my creativity to potential employers. And while I still want to do that, that's not my sole focus anymore, proving myself. I feel like where I am on a professional creative level, I don't really have to prove myself to anyone or to anything.
And also just kind of keeping up with like black brands and black influencers and some of the things that they're doing, and just kind of keeping some of that storytelling alive, and kind of adding to the culture in those ways. The third thing is Fika Services, my company. Fika Services pretty much focuses on trying to give you back some of your time. My personal brand, I think time is so important, and your personal time is so important. Time is like a currency. Time is a luxury. It's like the ultimate luxury to me. You don't get it back, and it's something that you can spend frivolously, but that's okay too. And so even those frivolous things are just as important as being productive, as, growing, as making more money, as all these things, right? That's just part of what Fika is trying to do. So our ultimate goal is to push people taking more time for themselves. And to do that, sometimes you need to delegate or ask for help. And that's where Fika comes in, where we can offer you digital tools to do that. If it's templates, things that you might need customized, or if it's creating a campaign and having somebody project manage that campaign, or whatever that might look like. So I have those 3 things and trying to survive and make money in this world. Okay. Now, here's where you turn around and you give me the answers to all my problems. Here's where it's your turn to now tell me what to do with my life.
And the only reason that I mention that in that way is because I may not feel as confident in all of my skills, But I think what's been holding me back a lot of times is perfection. And even in that video, I may not mention it, I may not say it, but part of that discomfort, part of it came from feeling like, am I good enough to really pursue the things that I want to pursue? Here I am. I have about 4 different businesses that I'm going to actively be trying to pursue and create like a brand universe in a way. But also, just on a personal level, I feel like there's so many things that I want to try, I want to learn, and I want to get better at. And I just want to say, like, I took a chance to see if I'd be good at this thing. And maybe I'm not that good at it, but I still like it. Maybe I'm not that good at it, but it was still fun. Maybe it's not really something that I'm as passionate about, but I still had a good time learning. I still had a good time trying, and I met some cool people along the way. And I think that's kind of where I am right now, even just thinking about my content. Originally, I wanted to kind of focus my content on like those brand projects and trying to build a professional universe in that way where I'm focused on, different ways that I look at brands and I look at, the cool things that they're doing and kind of promoting black brands and all that good stuff. And while I might still mention those things, while I might still bring them up in conversation or intros and things like that, I think this journey has to be a little bit more focused on myself and a little bit more focused on where I'm going and what I'm trying to do. That decision really came at a time where I realized that I have things to say, I have things to share, I have different things that I want to try in different ways that it might look, and I'm going to pursue it.
I don't want to settle this time. I'm tired of moving small, living small, dreaming small. I want to dream big and I want to live big and I want just as big returns. And that's going to require me to be a little uncomfortable and to push past it.
And I think also there's just a big glaring thing here of like, I finally feel confident enough to go after the things I want to do because trying to explain that, like, I want to build these businesses. I want to build this creativity. I want to learn more and grow more in this, but it's not practical because, yes, I still have bills to pay. I still have rent to pay. And I have such an amazing support system. And I realized at some point that I wasn't quite using them the way that I could have used them. My family and friends believe in me so much. They really do believe in even my vision for myself. And I was doing myself a disservice by not leaning into that support, especially when they tell me all the time, like, you could be doing this, you could be trying this, you could be sharing this journey. And I realized at some point that I am doing myself a disservice. And I do want to share this journey. I do want to share those things. And I'm kind of at that place now where I may not feel fully confident in everything that I want to do, but I'm confident enough to try. I'm feeling a little bit more confident enough to fail. And I think failure is a big, 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 big piece here.
And to think and try things that might be out my comfort zone. I ain't saying I'm about to go sell no ass now. That ain't. I'm just bringing y'all along this journey with me. I don't know who else this might help. And even if it doesn't, maybe it might be entertainment for somebody else. Or maybe I'm just looking for some encouragement from strangers. Who knows? I'm on this journey to dream big and try new things and stick to the plan. And I feel so entitled. I do. I really do. Like, I bust my ass to be where I am. I'm in so much debt. I owe Tom, Dick, Harry, and Jane, and Peter and Paul. And I've been robbing Peter blind. Robbing Peter blind to pay Paul his money. And I just feel like, damn, I shouldn't have to do this. But it's 2025. What's the worst that could happen this year with me and these videos and workshopping with y'all? What's the worst that could happen, right? I mean, at best, it grows and other people joins me on my journey. At worst, nobody but my mama, aunt, sisters, and cousins see this video, and that's okay. I can imagine just watching my life play back and still being proud of myself that I at least tried, that I at least put myself out there, that I at least was okay with being uncomfortable to try to make it work. And I went for it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, why would I get on the internet and tell everybody I ain't making no money? I'll get them, because, you know, it's not all about money right now. Like, yes, I want some money. Yes, I want some money, but it's not all about that right now. It's also just about me just trying to live a more quality life and just find my groove, find my way. I just feel like I've been failing, and maybe I've been failing up. Who knows? Or who knows what this moment right now means, or what this experience is trying to teach me, or where I go from here, or, you know, why I'm here, or what this lesson that God really wants me to learn is. Like I said, I do feel like every time I stick up for myself, or I recognize my value and I decide to, you know, make decisions with that recognition, I do feel like I'm punished a bit. But maybe I'm not punished. Maybe this is part of me, you know, God trying to test me to see if I'm going to stick up for myself or not, or if I'm going to, you know, keep myself in the same places, keep myself small for the sake of a little bit of money. Because how can I grow? Well, how can I think big, think more, and want more for myself if I don't recognize when I deserve more? Like, I can't effectively be mad at myself for saying, you know what, I'm better than this, I'm above this, and this is not my final play, this is not my final form. As Meg said, that's not even my final form. Like, how can I try to elevate and move up if I don't recognize the need to, if I don't recognize the desire to, if I don't cultivate that within myself? I almost have to be uncomfortable enough to want to grow, to want to change, to want more. And maybe that's what this moment is. Maybe that's what it is when I stand up for myself and I feel like I'm knocked back down. I know I deserve better, and it's a push to get me to do better, show up better, and have that confidence even at my lowest. And I can't waver on it. Like Ariel said, I gotta stick to the plan. I can't waver on it.
A big portion of kind of that feeling that I had of wanting it to be perfect, wanting it to be really, really good, wanting it to be acceptable for not just myself, but for, you know, people that I respect. And I realized at some point that, yeah, maybe it'll never be perfect. Maybe it'll never live up to some people's expectations, but that's okay as long as I still tried, as long as I still went for it. And I feel like at some point, I got to acknowledge that I can only be successful by my own terms and whatever that means for me. And if I'm never happy with where I'm going, with how I'm growing, with how I'm doing things, then I don't know if I'll ever be able to call myself successful. And that's how I know I've seen the growth from that video, because I'm taking you along with me on this journey as I fail, as I try new things, and as I go for it. Whatever that might look like, however that might look, I'm just going to go for it.
But yeah, I'm gonna just end this video with letting y'all know I'm taking y'all along for the ride with me. It's like, I can't compare my life to others and just feel like I'm behind and I'm low and all that stuff. Bitch got dreams and I'm trying. So yeah, we all have our time and our place. And growth might look a little different from you than it does for me. And our lives might look different, but that's okay. That's okay. I ain't never been no hater. That sounded real Cali. But nah, I never been a hater for real, for real. So you know, I'm happy for y'all. I'm happy for the people I went to school with. I'm happy for the people I've talked to. I've come across some extremely talented and amazing people, really, and I've learned from them and their confidence and belief in their work. And I'm gonna have that too. Welcome to the workshop in my life and this journey, baby. I'm learning how to cook this year. I'm trying to master French a little bit more. And I'm gonna put myself and my work out there more. And I might be, you know, fighting some insecurity. I might be fighting feeling low or like shouldn't have everybody all up in my business and all of that stuff, but like maybe it's a better purpose for it than my fragile ego. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try it and we'll see where it takes me.
Of course, I'm still going to be applying for jobs, but I'm just going to go for it. I just have a really good feeling about this. And I'm learning to trust my intuition more. And my intuition is telling me that there's something here. And I'm going to go for it. As nervous and scared as I am, but I think I got some cool things to share. So, welcome in.
Okay, so this isn't bad. Then again, I mean, I haven't fully looked at myself in the mirror, like zoomed in like this, so I might. Thanks for doing my makeup with me and let me vent and tell y'all all my little business. But y'all in it now, so you can't say your name is Bennett and you not in it, because now you in it and we in it. So we motherfucker. I'll see you next workshop.